Hi, this instructional video is about solving equations, solving two-step equations. Unlike the previous instructional video where we had to add and subtract and then divide, this time we're going to do add and subtract and then multiply. So number one, if you did your mental math on this one, you ask yourself, hey, what number plus 8 is 17? And you'll say, well, that's 9. Right? 9 plus 8 is 17, isn't it? And then ask yourself, well, since this whatever under my finger has to be a 9, then what number divided by 3 is 9? So if you went backward, you'll say, well, 9 times 3 is 27, so it must be 27. And that will be correct. So to show that algebraically, first we say, you, get out. If you don't know where that's coming from, you might want to look at the previous instructional video on how to solve two-step equations. You get out meaning, how do you get rid of the 8 from the left side of the equation away from the x? Well, you have to make it opposite. So opposite of plus 8 is minus 8. But whatever you do to the left side of the equation, you have to do it to the other. So this is called subtraction property of equality. As a result, on the left side, 8 minus 8, their additive inverse, they become 0. They're gone. All that remains is x over 3. And 17 minus 8, that's 9. Now, you could do your mental math already, but how do you show this algebraically? Well, here's how it's done. It says here, x divided by 3. Divided by 3. Whatever the number is being divided, you're going to do the inverse and instead multiply this time. And whatever you do multiply on the left side, you have to multiply on the right side. So as a result, we call this multiplication property of equality. And here's the tricky part. The 3 whole number that you're multiplying simplifies the denominator 3. So all that remains on the left side is just 3 and 3 crosses out 1x, or simply x. And on the right side, 9 times 7 is 9 times 3 is 27. But it says to check your solution. So we're going to go back and take that 27, which is dx, and substitute it back into the original equation. So we go 27 over 3 plus 8. Does that equal 17? Well, we know 27 divided by 3 is 9, and 9 plus 8 is in fact 17. So when the left and the right side of the equation equals, that means this is a good answer. So why don't you now try numbers 2, 3, and 4. While I go get some soda or something. Okay then. Now we have the x on the right side of the equation. So whatever is next to it, we have to move it away from that x. So how do we get rid of that negative 3 or minus 3? We add 3. And whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do it to the left side. Since we're adding it, this is going to be called addition property of equality. So since negative 3 or minus 3 and positive 3, they're additive inverse, they become 0. So all that remains on the right side is x over 3 or x over 4. And that equals x plus 8 plus 3 is 11. I'm getting mixed up here. Now, it says x divided by 4. What's inverse of divided by? Multiply. So you're going to multiply that number 4. And you're going to do it to both sides. And since we're multiplying, we will call this multiplication property of equality to justify it. So the 4 whole number simplifies the 4 denominator on the right side, leaving you with just x. And on the left side, 4 times 11? 44. Now to check it, we're going to take that and substitute it back into the x of that original equation. So we're going to say 44 over 4 minus 3 equals what's on the left, which is 8. Now 44 over 4, you know that reduces to 11 minus 3 on the right equals 8 on the left. And 11 minus 3, it is 8. And since the left and the right is same old, that's a good answer. And number 3, did you say add 7? Right on. So since we're adding, this is going to be called addition property of equality again. So minus 7 plus 7, they become 0. You have x over 5 equals 13 plus 7 is 20. And did you say do the inverse of divided by 5, which is multiply 5 to both sides? And this is going to be called multiplication property of equality. Hey, what do you know? Multiply, multiply, multiply. Anytime you see a fraction, you know you're going to multiply that same denominator. Yeah, you see a pattern here? So the 5 reduces the 5 denominator, so leaving you with an x is equal to 20 times 5 is 100. To check, let's plug it back into the original equation. 100 over 5 minus 7 is equal to 13. How many times does 5 go into 100? 20. And 20 minus 7 is, in fact, 13. Left and the right is the same? Good answer. And finally, yeah? Minus 12? All right. Minus 12. So therefore, subtraction. Let me see if I have a little space over here. Subtraction property of equality. So on the right side, the 12 and the minus 12, they're additive inverse. They become 0. So cross it out. I have 7x on the right side. On the left, 33 minus 12 is 21. Ooh, I hope this turns out okay. And how do you solve this one? Divide 7 to both sides. So division property of equality. 7 denominator is crossed off by, simplified by the coefficient 7. So x is equal to 21 divided by 7 is in fact 3. Let's take that x, which is 3, substitute it back into the original equation of that x. So 7 times 3 plus 12, does that equal 33? 7 times 3 is 21 plus 12. Does that equal 33? Yeah, 21 plus 12 is 33. There it is. I'm out of here.